This is a very basic goal setting worksheet. It's one of the first steps to actually become successful in real estate sales. You know, most real estate agents don't succeed in real estate, and I'm dead serious about that. It's a 95-5 ratio. Most of you hopefully have heard of the Pareto principle, which says that 80% of the results are done by 20% of the actual people, or 20% of the salespeople will produce 80% of the results. Well, it's been around forever, and it's good in any industry. Real estate, actually, it's worse than that. The National Association of Realtors says that it's 95-5 or 93-7. So 7% of the agents produce 93% of the results, or 5% of the agents produce 95% of the results. One of the ways that you're going to start on that path to becoming a top agent is to actually set your goals. You've got to know where you're going before you can set a direction to do that. You've got to know how much money you want to make. You've got to know what your average commission per site is going to be. You've got to do these things, and this is a simple goal setting worksheet for you to fill out. Where do you start? Well, you start with what your commission or GCI goal is for the year. So if it's $200,000 in a year, that's terrific. If it's $100,000 in a year, that's terrific. A lot of times we know these numbers, but we don't know exactly how to get there. And this is your first step. So say you wanted to make $200,000 in a year or $100,000 in a year. You simply put in the number of your choice. From there, you figure out what your average commission per unit sold will be. So when you sell a house, is your average home price 150,000, or is it 250,000? Is it 280,000? Whatever it is. This is just my area, so I put in $280,000, which means an average commission per side at 3% would be $8,400. It could be 3.5, it could be 2.5, whatever it is, to do that. This is going to then give you the number of closings that you need to achieve that goal. And if you look at it, now's where it starts to look even easier. You know, it's easy to look at that $100,000 and say, wow, how do I have to get there? Well, you only have to close 11.9 homes or 12 homes to actually get there. The next step is to figure out what homes you're going to sell from the listings you carry, what homes you're going to sell from the buyers that you carry. You may prefer listings, you may prefer buyers. Most new agents, as they come into the business, usually end up with more buyers sold than listings sold, but as you get more experience, that number will change. It could be half and half, and let's just go ahead and put 6 in here. And remember, when you're going through this worksheet, the only things that you're changing are the yellow highlighted areas. So if you do 6 listings sold, that means that you're going to do 5.9 buyers or 6 buyers as well. The next step is what percentage of your listings will actually sell. If you're only going to have 50% of your listings that actually sell, and that can be very accurate in today's market. It could be less, it could be more, it depends on what's going on in your market. Then that means that you've got to take 12 listings or get 12 listings that you start marketing with to actually sell 6 of them. What percentage of your buyer contracts will actually cancel? In other words, when they're under contract, how many of them don't go through? Well, if 20% of them don't go through, and again, in today's world, that can be very accurate. That means that you've actually got to get 7.5 or 8 buyers under contract to sell 6 of them, or actually successfully close 6 of them. How much is your percentage for successful listing appointments? How many listing appointments do you have to go on to actually get 12 listings? Well, you've got to go on 20 of them if you're converting 60% of them. Keep in mind, there are 2 rules of thumb. If somebody's not going to agree to your pricing and your structure and what you want to do, you may not want to take that listing. On the other hand, you can also argue that every listing that you take can lead you to a couple more pieces of business. Completely up to you and what you want to do. But the key is what percentage of your listing appointments will actually turn into successful listings. The next is the percentage of buyers that will buy. That's going to tell you how many buyers actually you need to have an appointment with. And in this case, it's 10 buyers, 9.23 or 10, to actually get to the 8 buyers under contract to get to the 6 buyers sold. So it's a numbers game to get all the way up, but if you don't know these numbers, you don't know where you have to go and what your goals are going to be. Break it down by month, and then it even looks easier and easier and easier. Keep in mind, too, that you want to put in how many months you're going to work in a year. Do you want to take off 4 weeks? Well, then you put in 11 months that you want to work. If you want to work all 12 months, then you can put that in as well. But even just working 11 months, that means you need to get 1.82 or 2 listing appointments per month. You need to get half a listing appointment a week. And then the buyers, it's one a month or 0.21. This takes it down and shows you how easy it is if you concentrate on doing these things and if you'll go out and do that. So don't let any number fool you when you're coming into the business. You can make exactly what you want to do, but if you don't know what kind of appointments you need to get, and that's the big key. The number of leads are going to go to the number of appointments, are going to go to the number of successful contracts, are going to go to the number of successful closings. So you've got to do that and look at these on a weekly and monthly basis. And when you do that, it makes it a piece of cake. There you go. Enjoy the worksheet and go get them.